Hello and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on Voice of the People TV. I am Jerry Apeliohai. Before we begin the news, kindly visit our website www.vop.ng for fresh and trendy news. And now the headlines. National Security Advisor denies Niger Republic's terrorism allegations. Nigeria, China renew currency swap deal. Tinubu calling for anarchy, says Boji Governor Mohammed. Sibajo Dangote, Star Lukman listed among 100 most influential Africans. Governor Alia vows to bring perpetrators to book. The business NPA to impound trucks are parked on Apapa Port, outbound lane. And in sports, Nigeria will play Ghana like our lives depend on it, says Ogumodede. And in entertainment, Oyetide drops a new single, Jingle Bell. And now the news info. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has denied terrorism allegations by Niger Republic's military leader, General Abdurrahman Chiani, against Nigeria. In an interview with BBC Hausa, Ribadu described the claims as baseless, stating rather that Nigerian prioritizes regional unity and cooperation over foreign interference. General Chiani had claimed that Nigeria was setting up a military camp in the north between Mungono and Baga in Borno State to destabilize the Niger Republic. Chiani further alleged that Nigeria had provided a base for French soldiers near Lake Chad. Refuting the allegations, however, Ribadu challenged journalists and the public to verify the claims. He urged Nigeria's leaders to address their grievances with France without dragging Nigeria into their disputes. Meanwhile, the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has come to Nigeria's defense after claims by Niger that it was plotting to destabilize its neighbor. In a statement Friday, the regional economic bloc said that Nigeria has supported peace and security of several countries, not only in the West African sub-region, but also on the African continent for years. It further refuted any suggestion that Nigeria would become a state sponsor of terrorism. And back in Nigeria, the defense headquarters has blamed what it described as a secondary explosion for the death of about 10 persons following strikes in Sokoto State. A few days back, the Sokoto government said 10 villagers were killed and others injured after military strikes in the Silame local government area of the state. However, the Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, said the deaths and injuries were due to explosions and not a direct result of the strikes. Those killed in the airstrikes have since been buried according to Islamic rites. The Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has attributed a significant decline in oil revenue for the third quarter of 2024 to aging pipeline infrastructure and operational inefficiencies. In its latest economic report for the third quarter of 2024, the Apex Bank noted that oil revenue fell by 24.72% to 1.30 trillion naira compared to the second quarter of 2024. It blamed the drop on lower receipts from petroleum profit tax and royalties. The revenue figure also missed the quarterly target by 75.39%, basically due to frequent shortings caused by deteriorating pipelines and installations, the CBN stated. Meanwhile, it noted that the modest increase in crude oil production from 1.27 million barrels per day in the preceding quarter to 1.33 million barrels per day, theft, vandalism, and infrastructure deficit, among others, severely hampered the oil revenue performance. According to the Apex Bank, the aging infrastructure not only reduced efficiency but also undermined the country's ability to meet its OPEC production quota. It concluded that the goal of achieving an oil production target of 2 million barrels per day by the end of 2024 remained threatened by these challenges. The People's Bank of China said it has renewed a bilateral currency swap agreement with its Nigerian counterpart, the Central Bank of Nigeria. The bank stated on its official website that the total value of the agreement is estimated at 15 billion yuan. That's about $2.09 billion. It disclosed that the agreement is valid for 3 years and can be renewed upon mutual consent. BBC noted that the renewal of the currency swap arrangement will strengthen financial cooperation between China and Nigeria, expand the use of the two currencies, and promote and facilitate bilateral trade and investment. The governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, has urged the President Bola Tinubu to backtrack on the tax policy reforms as it could lead to anarchy. Governor Mohammed made the call during the Christmas party organized in Bauchi on Thursday. He urged that the policy does not in any way favor the North and that governors would be unable to pay salaries. According to him, the tax reform is not a good policy for northern Nigeria because the region is not going to get money to pay workers' salaries. He insisted that the federal government must listen, otherwise it is calling for anarchy. He warned the federal government against coming up with a policy that favors only a state in the country, adding that it is not about religion or tribe, but national unity. Reuben Fasoranti, leader of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Cultural and Socio-Political Organization Afenifere, has felicitated with Nigerians as they celebrate the Yellowtide and prepare for year 2025 in a couple of days. In a statement by Afenifere's National Publicity Secretary, Jare Ajayi, Fasoranti expressed hope for better life for Nigerians soonest. He prayed God to comfort Nigerians in their worries as they inch gradually to the new year, strengthen citizens and lighten their paths. Fasoranti further assured Nigerians that the various policies of President Bola Tinubu's government would be beneficial to the people within the shortest possible time. Meanwhile, he sympathized with family who lost members to the stampedes in Ibadan, Oyo State, Okija in Anambra State, and Abuja last week, while also praying for the quick recovery of those who sustained injuries. The All Progressive Congress APC has reassured Nigerians that the government is working tirelessly to improve the lives of citizens. In a recent message to the residents of Lagos, the Lagos State Chairman of the APC, Cornelius Ojelabi, highlighted the importance of living by the values of love, kindness, and generosity. However, his statement has generated mixed reactions from the public, with some supporting the message while others expressed concerns over the current economic realities. In this report by Matthew Ogunswada, engaged with citizens to gather their expectations and opinions about government's efforts and the challenges they are facing.
The All Progressives Congress (APC) has reassured citizens. In a recent message to residents of Lagos, Honorable Cornelius Ojelabi, the Lagos State Chairman of the APC, urged everyone to live according to the teachings of Jesus Christ, emphasizing values such as love, kindness, and generosity. Ojelabi also acknowledged that the year 2024 has been tough for Nigerians, but reassured the public that the government remains focused on guiding the nation towards sustainable development. He emphasized the APC's commitment to creating a brighter future for all and ensuring that Lagos continues to be a beacon of hope. However, mixed reactions have followed this statement. To understand how the public is responding to this message, Voice of the People TV took to the street to gather a range of opinions from citizens.
Let them make things better, like in terms of light. Let there be stable light.
I need government to look at the situation is going about in Nigeria. So because everything now is too hard, like the price of the fuel and the other things.
I want the government to address our economy. 2025, they really need to do something so that we will not stress much as we stress in this 2024.
As we've heard, there are various opinions from Lagos residents on this development. As the government continues its effort towards sustainable development goals, it's interesting to see how this policy will play out in the coming weeks. Matthew Ogunswada, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
All right, Nigerians with mixed reactions over the assurances coming from the APC. You're still watching the 9 p.m. news on Voice of the People TV. We'll be back with more stories after this time out. All right, good to have you back with us. And now to more stories where former Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, Africa's richest man Aliko Dangote, Afrobeat star, Arya Star, and a host of other Nigerians have made it to the New African magazine's 100 Most Influential Africans of 2024 list. Released Friday, the list celebrates Africans who have made contributions in various fields from politics and business to sport and the creative industries. Former Vice President Osinbajo, known for his global advocacy and sustainable development, joins the likes of Senegalese climate leader Ibrahima Cheikh Diong and Kenyan economic reformer Claver Gatete. In the business category, Aliko Dangote maintained his influence as a global business leader, joined by financial heavyweights Akiwumi Adesina and the African Development Bank and Olugbenga Agboola of Flutterwave, who has continued to revolutionize Africa's economic landscape. Nigerian Afrobeat star, Arya Star, and literary icon, Lola Shoneyin, were celebrated in the creative category. Also, Nigerian footballer Demola Lookman made the sports category, standing tall alongside Botswanan sprinter Leslie Tebego, who claimed gold in the 200 meters final at the Paris Olympics, as well as Ethiopian marathon legend Stephen Hassan. In a different development, the Nigerian police force said their operatives across the country arrested 23 criminals in armed robbery, cults, and other groups targeting fund seekers and engaging in gangsterism during the Christmas celebrations. They said the arrest followed the directive of the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, to commands and formations to put in place anti-crime strategies towards ensuring adequate safety and security during the festive period. In a statement, Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi said the IGP has commended the officers involved in the operations for their vigilance and commitment to public safety through exemplary dedication. The IGP urged the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to the authorities, assuring of the agency's commitment to creating a safe environment for everyone during the holiday season and beyond. Air Peace has described as false and malicious a report circulating on social media of a purported plane crash involving one of its aircraft in the Western Sahara region. In a statement today, the airline's head of corporate communications, Dr. Ejike Ndilo, said the report that the crash resulted in fatalities, including the death of a prominent individual, is false. He described the information as false and malicious and a deliberate attempt to spread misinformation and tarnish the carrier's impeccable safety record. Induilo explained that it was important to note that the author of the post has a history of disseminating false and alarming information about non-existent tragic incidents. An ex-user had on Thursday alleged that a crash involving the airline's aircraft had claimed 50 lives. Work resumes today across the country as the two-day public holiday declared by the federal government for the celebration of Christmas comes to an end. This wraps up 2 days of merrymaking, event, visit, and Christmas carol events. The federal government had earlier in the week declared Wednesday, the 25th, and Thursday, the 26th of December 2024, as public holidays to celebrate Christmas and Boxing Day, respectively. As we embrace the holiday season, many Nigerians are finding unique ways to celebrate despite the ongoing economic challenges, from the rising cost of living to the realities of having children at home every day. The festivities are being shaped by different factors. In this report, VOPTV's Matthew Ogunswado gathers insight from Lagosians on how they are navigating the season and what it means to them this year. All right, now to more news where Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has immortalized his predecessor Rotimi Akeredolu, saying the new High Court complex to be constructed in the state would be named after the departed ex-governor. Aiyedatiwa became governor after Akeredolu's death on December 27, 2023. Speaking on Friday in Akure during a ceremony to flag off the construction of the new High Court complex, Aiyedatiwa described the project as a historic milestone for the state. He added that the project, which is also called the Judiciary Village, was conceived by the administration of the late Akeredolu, while its flag-off fulfills one of the judiciary's long-standing dreams. According to him, Akeredolu desired to provide a state-of-the-art High Court complex to ease the workload and enhance the welfare of the state judiciary. Therefore, naming the project Oluwarotimi Odunayo Akeredolu Judiciary Complex is a fitting way to immortalize his legacy, he declared. As we embrace the holiday season, many Nigerians are finding unique ways to celebrate despite the ongoing economic challenges, from the rising cost of living to the realities of having children at home every day. The festivities are being shaped by different factors. In this report, VOPTV's Matthew Ogunswado gathers insight from Lagosians on how they are navigating the season and what it means to them this year.
Parts of Lagos, families are embracing the festive spirit. From bustling streets to lively parks, the joy of the season is evident. However, this year, many Nigerians are navigating their celebration amid ongoing economic challenges. As families reflect on the rising cost of living and the realities of having children at home every day, the way the holidays are being celebrated has certainly been impacted. As Voice of the People TV, we are on the streets to find out how Nigerians are celebrating the holiday season in the midst of these challenges.
It's better because I distance from my friend. I'm enjoying my time with some family. I visit them. Some my friends, they come with me, so I'm very happy for that.
I'm spending my holidays so smoothly, and I like it, and I'm enjoying it because it's not easy. Not everybody that experience this holiday, but as long as I'm alive to experience it, it's okay for me. Some places are scanty, and the way it is, people who owns Lagos are no more in Lagos again. Everybody have traveled back to their base, to their home, to their hood, and to their family. Some who have never traveled before, they seriously traveled this time around.
During this holiday, I've been entertaining people. Like, I play music for entertainment. I rent bouncing castles and costume, like all those Avatar, Ben 10, all those font for children, something. Well, it has not been easy. It's very, very stressful. But the year is coming to an end, all of us is happy.
As you've heard, there are various perspectives from Lagos residents on how they are navigating the holiday season despite the economic challenges facing the country. As the year winds down, it's clear that the celebration this year remains low-key, while the festive spirit remains resolute. Matthew Ogunswado, reporting for Voice of the People TV.
All right, Nigerians showing how they're celebrating the yellow tide season. About the news, where former Osun State Deputy Governor Clement Hastrop has been reportedly selected as the new Owa Obokun of Ijesha land. It was gathered that Hastrop from the Bilaro Uluodo ruling house emerged the Owa elect during a selection process conducted by kingmakers at the Ilesha West Local Government Secretariat today. Confirming the development, a statement by the public relations officer of the Bilaro ruling house, Isaac Hastrop, described the process as free and fair. He stated that Lodger Clement Adeshi Hastrop of Bilaro Luodo ruling house has been elected as the Owa Obokun and Jimoko III and paramount ruler of Ijesha land. According to the statement, Hastrop defeated 9 other candidates in a free and fair selection process. The crisis rocking the Edo State chapter of the Nigerian Labour Congress has been laid to rest today as the National Executive Council affirmed Odion Olaye as the authentic state chairman. Briefing newsmen in Benin on his return, Olaye presented copies of the resolution by the NEC at the meeting held in Abuja, which confirmed his position as the duly elected NLC chairman in Edo State. Olaye quoted from a communique signed by Comrade Joe Ajero and Comrade Emmanuel Ugwaja, President and Secretary of the NLC, respectively, said NEC resolved to give the Edo State government and the police a deadline of 14 working days up to January 8, 2025 to vacate the Secretariat's premises. He added that NEC strongly condemned those fueling crisis in the state, particularly the invasion and ransacking of the state Secretariat. Governor Hyacinth Alia has vowed that perpetrators of the brutal attacks on Anwashe community in Kwande local government area of Benue State would pay dearly for the gruesome act. Speaking Friday through his media aide, Teso Kula, the governor condemned the unprovoked violence that reportedly claimed 11 lives and assured that justice will be served for the victims. He described the attack on unarmed innocent citizens as worrisome, regretting that such a heinous act had continued in the state in spite of the efforts of his administration to ensure the safety of the people. Governor Alia urged security personnel to improve their surveillance and ensure that vulnerable communities are not left unguarded. Up next is business, sport, and entertainment stories after the break. Stay tuned. The Nigerian Port Authority has described the practice of truck owners and drivers parking on the outbound section of the Apapa Port access roads. In an announcement on Friday, the NPA called on all perpetrators to stop the practice forthwith or face sanctions. It explained that parking trucks on the outbound section of Creek and Wharf roads in Apapa causes congestion on the access roads and delay in admitting trucks into the port. Additionally, the agency said the practice obstructs the movement of other road users and sabotages its efforts at ensuring free flow of traffic and seamless evacuation of cargoes to and from the port. The NPA lamented that parking on the outbound lane of the port access roads has continued over the years. However, it noted that the rise in import and export volume, increased vehicular movements, and other human activities around the port have further stretched the roads and available space. To enable it to optimize the use of the roads and port operations, the agency said it will no longer condone such odd way of doing things. The federal government raised a total of 211.144 billion naira from its December 2024 bond auction, significantly lower than the 346.155 billion naira raised in November. The Debt Management Office, which conducted the auction, reopened 2 existing instruments. The auction reflected a marked decline in both subscriptions and allotments, emphasizing a shift in market dynamics. In over to sports, Super Eagles B interim gaffer Daniel Ogumodede says his players will approach Saturday's African Nations Championship qualifying game against the Ghana Black Galaxies as though their lives depend on it. Fielding questions from newsmen after Thursday's training, Ogumodede assured that the all-important tie won't be approached with kid gloves. The two perennial rivals settled for a scoreless stalemate in Accra on Sunday, raising fears that the return leg built for the Godswill Akpabio Stadium in Uyo might once again end in Ghana's favor because of the away goal rule. However, Ogumodede is confident that Nigeria will book the tickets to the finals, stating that the team is doing everything to stay focused. According to him, the objective was to score an away goal in Accra, but that did not happen. Now, the watchword is getting the win that will qualify Nigeria for the tourney final coming up in East Africa. Still with sport, where Manchester defender Manuel Akanji believes the 1-1 draw with Everton could spark a revival in form for the Premier League champions. Thursday's result left City with just one win in 13 games in all competitions since October, with Pep Guardiola's side now 14 points adrift of leaders Liverpool, who also have a game in hand. Reacting to yesterday's result, the Swiss international said it felt like a frustrating afternoon, even though they played well from the first minute to the last compared to their other matches. Akanji explained that they tried to score as well as to play offensive football and did enough to win the match, but things didn't turn their way, with Everton also basically scoring out of nowhere. With City next in action at struggling Leicester on Sunday, Akanji said they need to keep working to take the next opportunity. He restated the belief that the team will sooner or later return to the way they used to play. And now to entertainment, where renowned clergyman and entrepreneur Oluwafemi Oyetunde has dropped a new single titled Jingle Bell to celebrate the Yellowtide season. Oyetunde, who is the lead pastor of Redeemed Christian Church of God Expression Nation, disclosed in a statement that the single is more than just a festive song but the celebration of the birth of Jesus Christ. He explained that Jingle Bell reminds Christian faithful of the true essence of Christmas, which is the love, freedom, healing, and deliverance that Jesus brings. The clergyman further urged Christians to celebrate and spread the joy of Christmas to neighbors and the less privileged in the society. He also disclosed that the song is available for streaming on major digital platforms. About news on entertainment scene, where social media commentator Very Darkman has claimed that over 180 million was stolen from his non-governmental organization's account after it was hacked. In an Instagram post on Friday, VDM, whose real name is Martins Otte, said the funds were diverted to an unknown account. He explained he has not been himself since the incident this past few days, adding, however, that a crime suspect has been arrested. Moreover, he disclosed that the account is now on post-note debit status with only 20 million left, while 160 million was diverted. However, he said they were heading to Jos to recover the money, adding that the NGO's app was temporarily shut down for maintenance to prevent further breaches. And before we go, a recap of the major headlines to wrap up the 9 p.m. news. We told you earlier, the National Security Advisor denies Niger's terrorism allegations against Nigeria. Nigeria-China renew currency swap deal. Tinubu calling for anarchy, says Bauchi Governor Mohammed. Osibajo Dangote, Arresta Lukman listed among 100 most influential Africans. Governor Alia vows to bring perpetrators to book. And in business, NPA to impound trucks are parked on Apapa Port's outbound lane. And in sports, Nigeria will play Ghana like our lives depend on it, says Ogumodede. And in entertainment, Oyetunde drops new single, Jingle Bell. Alright, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People TV, and on all the social media platforms, we are VOP TV Live. I am Jerry. Happily I. Good evening.